And this brings us to the first topic of the night. Do you love what you do?
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. We'll start off with a question. Do you love what you do? Ken.
Hey everybody. The question he asks is, do you love what you do? And yes, very, very much. I love what I do. It's my day job, if you don't know, is I'm the singer for a band called Sister Hazel, and I have had a lot of amazing sort of opportunities and adventures open up in my life because of that we call that the mothership. I discovered pretty early on what I love, what I was passionate about, and it's been my observation that no matter what you choose to do, whether you're a teacher, whether you're printing on glass, whether you're curing cancer, it doesn't really matter if you're passionate and excited about whatever it is you do. That's what makes you happy. And for me, growing up as an artist, sometimes you hear whispers of when are you going to get a real job. So I started looking at the things that I loved and saw if there was a way I could incorporate this. For me, it started. Well, my dad was a phenomenal musician. We used to have a little condo at Crescent Beach. Anybody spend a little time at Crescent Beach? And we would have these little jam sessions. I mean, my dad, we'd have all these people come over. People would bring banjos and fiddles and guitars, and we'd all hang out and do this cover dish thing. And these guys would be storytellers, and they would sing these quirky little songs, and I was mesmerized. And I loved the song. I loved the craft of the song. I loved bringing people together around something that was so leveled the playing field. Everybody was in such a good mood. It was so powerful to me that I always looked for a way for that to happen. It just so happens that the first time I ever played in public was on this stage at Cat Prowl with a band called Razor's Edge. Yeah! So if you'll bear with me for one second, I won't do this whole thing, but this is just sort of fulfilling a little dream of mine. Give me 1 second. Just a little bit, I promise. Since 1999, and this is the first time I've been back. I'll tell you that. I had to wait for the statute of limitations. Those of you that don't know who I am, if you don't know who I am after this little piece, you never will. So this is a song that either you might have heard from your parents, probably. So one of the main reasons, there were two reasons. One is I've thought about that a lot since, this was really, honestly, the first place I played in public. And that's what happened. It was this exchange of energy that was really moving to me. And my mom's always been somebody, and my dad have always been people to say, what are you going to do now that you have people's attention? And so I wrote that song 6.5 years before we ever got a record deal, 7 years before it ever got on the radio. But we knew that and a few other things were something that felt right to us, and it was something that we could build on. It was something that we could it was a motor to our boat. And so, oftentimes you run into things and you go, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? Well, many years later, that door finally popped open. And do I love what I do? Absolutely.
Let's see, I'm going to give the next question, and it's about business plans. I'm going to divide it into two halves. And I'm going to give the first half, is it important? Is a business plan important? And is it valuable? So Kristen, what's your experience? And then we'll ask the banker what he thinks about business plans.
Okay, should I sing about it or? Probably not. No. So in order for me to tell you about the business plan story, I got to give you a little bit of background information. So I was in my undergrad at UF, and I didn't have a job, and I wanted these jeans. And they were really expensive, and so I asked my mom and dad to buy them for me, and they said, absolutely not, get a job. So I put an ad on Craigslist to clean houses. And I bought the jeans, realized it wasn't that bad. I continued to clean with my friends. And then I met a property manager of this really big apartment complex, and he told me that they needed a large company to clean the apartments in the summer when all the students move out. So this time, it was right before my senior year at UF, and I went and told my parents, I think I'm going to start a really big cleaning company. And they looked at me, what? You're in school for finance. What do you mean you're starting a big cleaning company? And so after, I was very persistent, and they realized I was serious. So they took me to the bank to get a loan, because I needed to buy all the vacuums and everything to do the cleaning. And so I get to the bank, and the banker looks at me, and she says, where is your business plan? And I said, what do you mean? It's in here. And she said, no, I need a plan on paper in order to give you this loan. So I was in entrepreneurship class at the time, and I went to my professor, and he helped me write a plan, and I went back to the bank. And I was denied a few times before I was finally granted just $10,000. But that's all I needed to start my business, and I would not have been able to get that without a business plan.
Good. So the question is it really important to the banker? The answer is no, it's not important at all. The thing that's important, though, is just knowing that Kristen went and did some research. She had to figure out who her competitors were. I mean, what else was in the business plan?
How I was going to grow, what were my expenses, what would I be spending this money on?
So she had to put down in writing some information that was important for her company to succeed. And that's what's really important about a business plan is somebody did some thinking, somebody figured out where the pitfalls are, they figured out who the competition is, and basically they figured out the way they could do better than the competition. And that's what she did. So would I have given her $10,000? I don't know. I would have gotten her parents to co-sign probably, but I it would help if she had a plan because then I would know she's really thought this out.
That's a great answer. Could you please step a little bit closer to the podium? Our mic is not picking up. Oh, okay, great. But I will say, in my recent experience with Capital City, one of our companies at Santa Fe Seed was able to secure a loan. So Capital City is loaning to entrepreneurs, which is fantastic.
Can I make a comment?
Sure.
Bill and I are at lunch, and with this young person who is interested in borrowing money, and he did borrow more than $10,000. And I said, gosh, Bill, later I said, how old is he? Bill said, oh, he's 19. So bikers aren't used to folks who are quite that young. We're used to people a little bit older, and sometimes we might not relate that well to somebody who's 19. So please forgive us because we live in another world that 19-year-olds just don't understand.
Great, thank you.